Hey everyone, and welcome back to Coins Alert. This is Rich making another movie about XRP today, as always. Today we're going to talk about XRP. I hope everyone is having a great day, no matter where they are in the world. On this channel, I talk about micropayments all the time. I always play clips of David Schwartz or Brad Garlinghouse talking about micropayments at this point. But Navin Gupta is here to tell you how to use XRP for small payments. Listen to this. Hey, today, FT and Wall Street Journal want to let Jay buy access to just one story. You can say, hey, you know what? I don't want to pay a fee to use the internet. No matter the reason, you're not willing to pay $40 USD, but you are willing to pay 10 cents to read that one Bitcoin story that you love and that your friends have talked about. When newspapers try to reach the millions of people who only want to read one story, they run into one problem. How do they get their 10 cents? Since it will cost them $1 to collect the 10 cents. For example, public chains like XRP solve that problem because you could pay that small amount of 10 cents in XRP for almost nothing. They could get it right away, in real time. It would make them happy if they could turn that into US dollars all at once. After that, you can read the piece, and all of a sudden they can reach millions of people around the world who just want to make small payments of $1, $2, or $5. This is possible because the normal payment system is very inefficient when the amount being paid is less than, say, $1,000. With micropayments, this membership will no longer be needed. You might want to watch a Disney Plus movie but not pay for the whole month of Disney Plus. You could just pay a small amount of money and watch that movie. The next movie you want to see costs the same amount of money, and so on. Micropayments are great for that reason. Being able to get paid from the time you punch in until the end of the day is also made possible by micropayments. They would keep giving you money all day. Micropayments are the only way to make that possible, and it will completely change the game. Through Project Nexus, the Philippines Central Bank is getting ready for quick payments across borders. They are now working with Malaysia and Japan to connect their instant payment systems for users. The author of this piece doesn't talk about Ripple or XRP at all, but we already know that Ripple has ties to the Philippines. Ripple's Philippines corridor shows a rise in deals involving on-demand liquidity. That was in the year 2019. We saw this last year. Having trouble at the Philippines Central Bank, we were able to meet with important people to learn more about some of the cutting-edge solutions that are being built there. I had to come back twice because the city is so nice. Ripple has always worked with the Philippines to make it easier for people to send money back home and do other things. Their central bank is now getting ready for real-time payments and payments across borders. This means that Ripple's technology is probably already being used there. And they might even be using on-demand liquidity as well. I'd like to see that go further. The MD of Ripple Europe says that the EUR stablecoin is on the XRP ledger. This is what the MD of Ripple Europe said during a talk at Paris Blockchain Week 2025. They're talking about a new stablecoin that will be added to the XRP system. At first, Ripple and SOS Gen Forge worked together on custody solutions. Since then, their work has grown to include stablecoin production. Craddock said, "We worked with SOS Gen Forge to do custody at first, and now we're working with them to issue their Euro CV stablecoin on the XRP ledger." You know, there will be a lot of stable coins on the XRP ledger because it was made to handle digital currencies from central banks. A central bank digital currency is just a stable coin released by a central bank. It doesn't really matter. The start of RLUSRLEUR is what I'm waiting for. No doubt about it, that will happen at some point. But Ripple is always growing so quickly. As you may know, companies are now starting to join the XRP ledger as well. This year will be great for people who own XRP. If a crypto company is licensed by Mika, Google will only let them promote in the EU. This is how you should think about it. Anything that doesn't work with Mika can't even in the EU. You won't even see ads for things that don't follow Mika rules. But I thought they were going to do this last year. It looks like they pushed it back to the middle or end of 2025. After that, these ads would probably go away. But this makes it possible for RLUSD to come back, and later for XRP too. This is from Cyprus. This good news won't always be kept secret. When really big news comes out, you don't always see it because it's hidden for some reason. Don't forget about LMAX Digital Plus Ripple USD. Oh, this is how big and important that really was. In that case, London, March 19, 2025. Part of the LMAX group, LMAX Digital is the largest commercial digital asset exchange. Today it announced that it has added Ripple USD and RLUSD to its list of trading instruments. LMAX Digital keeps building on its role as a link between standard finance and decentralized finance. It looks like RLUSD is being used to fill that gap. People would say right away, that's RLUSD. It doesn't mean anything for XRP, but think about this, you could use RippleNet to send RLUSD. It will be quick and cheap. Moving that RLUSD with XRP, on the other hand, is now very quick and cheap. That's why this game is different. They can use RLUSD anywhere, and it will work with the XRP system. Most of the time XRP will be what moves that steady coin. Investment management business Dolan Investments in the US thinks that Kitao, CEO of SBI Holdings, could be a good choice for the board of directors of Fuji Media Holdings, which is Japan's biggest media company. Since this person really likes XRP, he might now be on the board of Fuji Media. Now think about all of those ads for Ripple that are showing up in Japan. But this could go even further than that. Think more along the lines of getting everything ready so that XRP can also be used in Japan's banking system. In Japan, everything points to XRP and Ripple. I want to see where this goes next again. This is from Mr. Man. How to kill a currency without anyone realizing so that the IMF can give SDRs to developing countries so that supranational currencies like XRP can back up all other currencies without the need for a middleman. Slowly destroy the money so no one notices, then put in the new one. Listen to what this person named Jim Rickards has to say. But if you can make the money worth more, then it is. To put it another way, the US pays $17 trillion. How do you get $8 trillion from $17 trillion? Half the amount of a dollar, that means it's still $17 trillion in real terms. You only spent $8 trillion on it. If I owe you $1 million, I have a problem, is an old joke in the business world you should know. But if I owe you $1 billion, it's hard for you because you have to get the money. I can leave right now. I can say the next day sleep in. Though we owe China $4 trillion. That means something is wrong. We could just hand China $4 trillion and say hello. You'll have a hard time getting bread now that we've printed it. You could say that's the worst possible way for the leaders to take over the world. And once more, it's not a plot when I say elites. We know finance officials, professors, Jack Lew, Tim Geithner, and Madame Christine Lagarde at the IMF. This is where the world is going. It's a gradual drop in the value of SDRs compared to the dollar. This is because, let's say, and I think this will happen, the IMF printed 5 trillion SDRs. This amounts to about $6.5 quadrillion. You should print 5 trillion SDRs and give them to every country. It wasn't long before countries could buy goods from other countries because they had SDRs to do so. It's possible that they had a trade imbalance, or not enough reserves. We all know that foreign funds are just money in the bank, right? You spend $80,000 of the money you make and save $20,000. That's your savings. In a way, a country's reserve slots are just its savings account. You send out and receive a certain amount of money. In the end, you either have more money than you need or less of it. And any extra money you have is called a cushion. In the same way you always do, you go invest them somewhere. And if you owe more money than you have, you'll have to borrow it to pay it back. A country might have a trade imbalance and not enough cash on hand. They get a lot of SDRs from me though. They can go buy something.